Shalom. Call Haloyam La Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash, Rakta Yahweh, Rakta Yahweh Shai, Rakta Rakha Kodash, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakha Kodash. Shalom and double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the elder bishops and the elders in the Akim and the Akwath of the hopeful elect. Shalom. Just want to go into a quick video entitled Israelis and Hamas update. So we'll go ahead and read a bit of this article here and grab some precepts, the same 1-2 step, filtering everything through the Holy Scriptures. And this is not misinformation. This is strictly coming from a yahoo.com news article, as a video was taken down based off of me just coming out of current events that was going on across social media and bringing out the precepts to back it up, to back up the claim and to solidify the validity of the scriptures, right? So this is not misinformation. This is literally from Yahoo News. So if they have a problem with this, then they have a problem with Yahoo News. And chiefly, they have a problem with the Most High. But so right here it says, Israel ramps up strikes on Gaza as U.S. advises delaying ground offensive to allow talks on captives. Salakia. So I'll leave this link to the description in the comment section. You can check it out for yourself and read the whole thing and, scroll through the pictures and everything right here and what's going on over there in the so-called Middle East. So it says Rafah, Gaza Strip. It says Israel ramped up its airstrikes Monday in Gaza. Today is October 23rd, 2023. And this article here was done at 9:19 a.m. just now. So going back, it says Israel ramped up its airstrikes Monday in Gaza, where the death toll is rising rapidly. And the United States advised Israel to delay an expected ground invasion to allow more time to negotiate the release of hostages taken by Hamas militants. So even the whore, Babylon the Great, United States, is having to advise Israel, the Israelis, to slow down a little bit. Let's give a little talk. Let's try to talk a little bit. These Israelis, they're bloodthirsty, seeking blood, and wanting to destroy, and kill, right? So, right here it says, next paragraph, Israel has allowed 2 small aid convoys, but no fuel to enter the besieged coastal enclave, where there has been a power blackout for nearly 2 weeks. So this sounds very ferocious and very savage, right? Where's the mercy and where's the turning of the cheek and forgiving, as they tell so-called Black Latinos, Native Americans to do over here, right? Hypocrites. Hospitals say they are scrounging for generator fuel in order to keep operating life-saving medical equipment and incubators for premature babies. So where's the righteousness and a full-fledged onslaught of innocent people and babies, that's premature, that needs to be incubated and need the the electricity to be able to operate and fully properly nurture these babies that was born prematurely? Where's the mercy, right? As the scriptures say, blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. Let me see if I can get that real quick. Blessed are the merciful. All right, there it is. So Matthew 5:7, blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. So where is the mercy? So if you're merciless, then you're going to receive no mercy from the Most High. So we'll go, and this is all biblical prophecies coming to pass. Zephaniah 1 and 14. The great day of the Lord Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai is near. It is near, and hasteth greatly, even the voice of the day of the Lord Yahweh. In the name of Yahweh Shai, the mighty man shall cry there bitterly. Verse 15. That day is a day of wrath, a day of trouble and distress, a day of wasteness and desolation, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds and thick darkness. So that's what all of this is leading up to. Because why? The least of the flock shall draw them out. Draw what out? The rest of the nations into World War III. The littlest nation, claiming to be the chosen of the Most High, little hats. So let's see. Okay, yeah, so this paragraph basically is right here that we just read right here. It says, Israel, it has allowed two small aid convoys. So they allowed two aid vehicles or whatever to go and help out Hamas for a little bit. But they are besieging the coastal enclave, right? Where it says right here. The Israelis, they're besieging on the Gaza Strip and trying to, like the serpent, wrapping around and choking and squeezing them out. And what is that key characteristic of? Not Israel, not the true Israel. But let's get this real quick. Luke 21 and verse 20. And when ye shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, know that the desolation thereof is nigh. So that was a prophecy for the Most High. I mean that Yahweh Shai the Messiah gave to the tribe for the southern kingdom. That when the Romans armies was going to compass Jerusalem round about, that was the great siege that ended Israel from being a nation at that time in the homeland, in the homeland, right? And so that's a key characteristic of the Roman Edomites, the Edomites. So that's exactly what the Israelis are doing right now. And these days, they're besieging, surrounding Gaza, the Gaza Strip. That's their that's their key characteristic, and that's one of their tactics, to surround and besiege, and like a serpent does, wrap around, right, and choke the life out, and because that place has been it's been a blackout, they say, for 2 weeks. So all I'm doing reading the article and bringing up scriptures. It's not misinformation. If you're reading, I'm reading directly from this article off of Yahoo and reading out of the Bible. No misinformation, and it's not the Bible is not of any private interpretation. I'm not misleading anything. It's bearing false witness, and and they're lying, taken away from the scriptures, and they're going to receive the plagues thereof. So Jeremiah 49 and 20. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, that he hath taken against Edom, the so-called white race, headed by the little hats, and his purposes that he hath purposed against the inhabitants of Teman. Teman is their supposed wise tribe, they have the German scientists that created all these nuclear missiles for the Russians and for America and their allies. That surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. that's going into the little hats. That's what they are the Amalekites of the tribe. The top tribe of Edom, the so-called white race. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. And that's right here. Let's go down a little bit. Right here it says what? Fears of a widening war have grown as Israeli warplanes have struck targets in the occupied West Bank, Syria, and Lebanon in recent days. Israel has frequently traded fire with Lebanon's Hezbollah militant group, which is armed with tens of thousands of rockets. So it's like, so look at what these people doing. This little nation here that's claiming to be the chosen. They causing all this destruction and damage and waging all this war, right? So they're the least of the flock that's going to draw everyone out, and that's what it says right here: fears of a widening war. And what's the widening? Other nations getting involved. That's the least of the flock drawing who out? Drawing all these other nations out. So biblical prophecy is coming, it's flying off the pages. Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 2. And it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord Yahweh's house, and that's the chiefly the house of David, the 1/3 elect body of Yahweh, that the mountain of the Lord Yahweh's house, Bahashem Yahweh, shall be established in the top of the mountains. So Deuteronomy 7:6, we are a holy people above all nations, and shall be exalted above the hills. So mountains, the bigger nations, and then the hills, the smaller nations, the less significant nations, heathen nations, and all nations shall flow into it. What's flowing into the little hats? What nations are flowing into them? Nobody, right? Nothing but wars and everyone hating them. Verse 3. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, Yahweh, and to the house of the power of Jacob. That's the Israelites. He will teach us of his ways. So what's the ways of the Most High? His laws, statutes, and commandments. Let's see, Psalms 119. Somewhere, let's see. Well, the ways of the Most High is his laws, statutes, and commandments. I was just trying to find it somewhere. Okay, let's get verse 3. They also do no iniquity. They walk in his ways. So what's the opposite of iniquity? What's the opposite of sin? Keeping the laws. What's the opposite of breaking the laws? Keeping the laws. They walk in the ways of the Most High. That's the ways of the Most High, his commandments. Verse 4, thou hast commanded us to keep thy precepts diligently. And so that word precepts is another word for commandments and statutes. See, precept, statute. And then when you go down here, commandment. So the precepts is another name for commandments of the Most High. And that's the Most High's ways, his commandments. Going back to Isaiah 2 and verse 3. It says, we'll start right here in the middle, right there. And he will teach us of his ways, his commandments of the Most High. And we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, from Jerusalem. So that's the ways of the Most High, his laws. And he broke it down there also in the same precept here, verse. And what nation's doing that right now? Are all nations flowing and going to the Israelis, the little hats, and learning other ways of the Most High, or are they clipping up, meaning getting guns, strapping up, and rockets and missiles and military warfare, and waging war against and fighting against them? It's not going to be when the Israelites return to their homeland. It's not going to be people gearing up for war and fighting against us. That's foolishness. It'll be no competition. They'll already be destroyed, and then they'll learn our ways. Verse 4. And he shall judge among the nations, and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares. So a sword meaning their military weapons, the modern military weapons they have, is going to be beaten into plowshares. What are plowshares? Agriculture, farming, right? Are nations forming, or they beating their plowshares into swords right now? They've learned war, and they're in the current activity of war, and their spears into pruning hooks. So those spears and pruning hooks is when you're tilling the land for for food. It'll be peace and calm. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. So are all nations learning war, or are they all in peace and flowing and learning the commandments of the Most High and learning peace? Or are they waging war against the Israelis? So, it's clear signs of the truth, Proverbs 12 and 11. Is that what I want? No, let's see. No, verse 10. It says, a righteous man regardeth the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. Now that goes to, beast and, just mankind in general too, because we just read in Matthew, blessed are the merciful, for they shall receive mercy. And so their mercy is cruel, and they're the wicked. But the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. So if you're wicked, your mercy is going to be cruel. There's children, underdeveloped, premature born babies, and incubators, and they're struggling for power, electricity, to keep those incubators going for those little babies. Isn't that cruel mercy? And that's what a wicked man does, because they are surrounding and besieging the area of the Gaza Strip, of the Hamas folks, and to where the U.S. is even having to tell the Israelis, "Hey, calm down, relax for a minute, let's negotiate." But that's the least of the flock, drawing them all out, and these heinous, cruel, merciless acts. And this is not misinformation. It's none of that. It's just me coming out of the article and coming out of the scriptures. Because you got fools on here that's taking down videos and lying to protect a lie. Proverbs 29 and 2. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice. But when the wicked bear the rule, the people mourn. And that's what's going on right now. You can look at those pictures in that article, scroll through those pictures at the top of that article, and see everybody's mourning. Is it rejoicing? Is it joy and happiness? No. Nothing but mourning. Because why? The wicked are in rulership right now. Ezekiel 35 and verse 6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh B'Hashem, Yahweh Shai, the Most High Power, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, sith thou hast not hated blood. Meaning, since you haven't hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. So blood's going to pursue these devils for why? For what? Because they are merciless and destroying, and they even their own bloodthirsty cousin, brother, have to tell them to slow down for a little bit to negotiate. And the Most High is going to, destroy them for their wickedness, because that's actually Esau, Edom over there. Verse 7: Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate. And what's Seir? That's the mountain. That's the mount for Esau, Edom. And cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. Ezekiel 34:28. And they shall no more be a prey to the heathen, neither shall the beast of the land devour them, but they shall dwell safely, and none shall make them afraid. So, are the Israelis, are they afraid, or are they dwelling safely when they were, attacked by Hamas? No nation is going to rise up. We just read that the Most High is going to beat these nations' swords into plowshares, and so they're not dwelling safely over there. Why? Because they don't fit the biblical prophecies of the biblical Israelites. Revelations 21 and verse 4. And Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. So the former things are not passed away. This carnal existence and carnal heathen rulership age, it hasn't passed away yet. So there's crying, there is pain, and there's death and sorrow. So this is not, it's not adding up of what they've been claiming since 1948. All right, so going to the book of Sirach, or Ecclesiasticus, also known as, chapter 17 and verse 25. Return unto the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, and forsake thy sins, and make thy prayer before his face. Revelation 5 and 8 shows you what happens to the prayers of the righteous. The Most High hears them. It's a sweet savor to the Most High, and he will answer your prayers in the name of Yahushai, right? Your prayers in the name of Yahushai, and he will answer and grant your prayer requests. So people talking about pray for Israel and all of that. Well, no, the Most High is not hearing those prayers because that's dung. The Most High is not hearing those dung, censored prayers from evil, filthy, heathen, and abominable, wicked evildoers. So let's see. Verse 25 again. Return unto the Lord Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, and forsake thy sins. Is having the largest rainbow parade in the homeland over there, is that forsaken sins? No, that's abounding in sins, growing in sins. And make thy prayer before his face, and offend less. Verse 26. So they're not offending less, they're offending more. Verse 26. Turn again to the Most High, and turn away from iniquity. What's iniquity? Sin. For he will lead thee out of darkness into the light of health. And that light, Proverbs, I think 6:23, the law is a lamp. That's that light of health. And Proverbs 7:2, keep the commandments and live. So that's the light of health, light of life. And Yahushua will head following him. And hate thou abomination vehemently. So you gotta intensely hate abominable things. So you're gonna either you're gonna love the good and hate the evil, or vice versa. There's no in between. So Christianity lies, saying the law is done away with, when that's a lie. Keeping everyone in sin and offending more and not less. Let's see. We'll go now to the same book of Ecclesiasticus, chapter 25 and verse 7. There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy. And the 10th I will utter with my tongue, a man that hath joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy. And that's what we're in the midst of. And the least of the flock is going to draw everyone out, and that's the downfall of all of the heathen. As we're seeing the economies across the planet falling, and mainly because the digital economy is about to be implemented, and all the prophecies are converging upon one another as prophesied to bring in the end of the heathen and the deliverance of the children of Israel, the true children of Israel, so-called Black Latinos, Native American Indians. So Tobit chapter 14 and verse 15. But before he died, he heard of the destruction of Nineveh. So Nineveh is like basically is the capital city of Assyria, the northern kingdom captivity back in the day in around 723 BC. And then this was Tobit. He was a northern kingdom prophet. And before he died, he heard of the destruction of them. So modern day Nineveh, the capital of Assyria, today the capital of Babylon, aka Assyria, is Washington, D.C. But before he died, he heard of the destruction of Nineveh, which was taken by Nebuchadnezzar and Assyrians, and that's the ancient Babylonians that took him down. And before his death, he rejoiced over Nineveh. So we're about to rejoice, and we're rejoicing seeing the impending destruction of our enemies. And it's a very pleasant savor to know that this bondage these bonds is starting to lessen more and more and break away to our salvation. So with that being said, I hope this video is edifying. The water to Rachak Wadash, Show me how to for another video. Till next video, I say, Shalom.